Welcome to Trade Pro. This is the release and tutorial video for the newest Trade Pro trading strategy script. This one is called the Time Range Breakout plus Stochastic RSI. This is now the 15th Trade Pro trading strategy script to be released, and this is available along with all the others on the Patreon page. It does cost money, so if you're not interested, then feel free to skip this specific video. Now, I'm going to go over the strategy that this script is using and all the different customizable parts that it has within the settings. So let's check it out. Now, there are two main strategies that you can use with this script. One is a really basic stochastic cross strategy using an exponential moving average as a trend filter. So that's what I'm using right here. Then there's also the time range breakout strategy that this can use as well. And that's where a certain time range is marked out. Then the strategy will wait for a breakout of that range to determine which direction it's going to be trading in. In this case, you see a break to the downside happening right here. So the strategy is going to look to short the market on the first cross down of the stochastic RSI that happens in the overbought territory. So this one is a loss, but obviously we can see the last 40 trades I had a 50% win rate using this strategy. This one, all it's going to do is have the 200 period exponential moving average as chosen in the settings, and then it's going to be looking for crosses of the stochastic RSI that happen in the overbought or oversold territories, and that is it. So how I've done it with this one is have a method of moving the stop loss to break even at a certain point. That's why there's so many winners on this one, is because it's moving the stop loss into profit on a lot of these trades. Here's a quick visual of the basic stochastic RSI strategy in action. So you can see we have a cross down happening on the stochastic RSI that happens in the overbought territory over the 80 level, and price is below the 200 period exponential moving average, so it enters into a short. So very simple strategy with a stop loss that moves into profit at a certain point. So in the settings, I have selected this to place the original stop loss at 2.5 times the ATR, and then move the stop loss into profit once price has moved 0.3 times the risk in the trade's favor. Okay, the ultimate profit target is going to be 4 times the initial risk. Now here's a visual of the time range breakout strategy. As you can see, this marks out a time range and then identifies the price range during that time slot. The strategy will wait for a breakout of that range and then look for a trade in the direction of that breakout. So here you can see we get a breakout to the upside. So the strategy then waits for a pullback that gives a stochastic RSI cross to the upside in the oversold territory below the 30 level. And that is the entry trigger. So it's looking for the first cross up that happens in the oversold territory after the breakout of that time range. And you can choose what that time range you want to be is, but for this one, I have it from 9 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. as that is just before the volume starts kicking in here on US 30. So that is how this strategy works. Now let's go through all the different settings of this script one by one. All right, now with the settings open, let's start at the top with the ability to enable a time range breakout filter. And there's an explanation here for it, but essentially it's recording the highest and lowest prices in a given time range every day. And then depending on the way that the price breaks out from this range, then it's going to either look for a long or short entry dependent on that, and then the entry will be given by the stochastic RSI cross based on the specific settings you choose here. Okay, then for the next settings, just the basic stochastic RSI settings, so you can change the settings if you wish. I have it at default here. Then we have the ability to restrict the crosses to overbought or oversold territory on the stochastic RSI. You can choose what the overbought and oversold levels are at. And then there's the ability to choose a EMA filter. So this is just a trend direction filter. So price, if it's below the 200 period exponential moving average, it's only going to be looking to short. If price is over, then the strategy is only going to be looking to take a long. You can turn it off, or you can choose what you want that exponential moving average length to be. I have it set at 200 as a good basic standard setting. Now, as we scroll down, we have the ability to enable both longs and short entries, or just one or the other. You can also restrict entries to a date range, restrict entries to days and time range, can skip certain entries if estimated commissions are greater than estimated profits, can enable an RSI filter, which has a couple different things that you can do. You can also skip the entry if the previous trade's unrealized profit reaches a certain percent, and all of these things do have explanations here, going more in depth about them. Now, coming down to the stop loss strategy, the dynamic stop loss, and the take profit strategy, this is a very important section. So let's start up here with the stop loss strategy. Now, this is where you choose how the stop loss is going to be placed based on one of these metrics. So either an ATR-based stop loss, a moving average of the ATR-based stop loss, percent-based stop loss, or tick-based stop loss. And right now I have it set at a 2.5 times the ATR stop loss as the initial placement. Now, coming down to the next section, we have the ability to enable a dynamic stop loss. So that is a stop loss that either moves, trails, or moves and trails, and all of the specifics are determined based on the settings you choose here. Now, I have it just set to move, and I have it moving into profit, or 1.1 times the risk, after price has moved 0.3 times the risk in my trade's favor. Okay, so you can choose a bunch of different things here for trailing, moving, or moving and trailing the stop loss. Now, final section here is the take profit strategy. So this will just be the profit target essentially. And I have it set at a risk multiplier. So it is going to be setting the take profit target at 4 times my initial risk. So my initial risk is going to be up here at the stop loss strategy, which is 2.5 times the ATR. So 4 times that, we're looking at 10 times the ATR for the profit target based on what I have set right here. But you can also choose an ATR based and moving average of the ATR based, percent based, tick based, or disabled for the take profit strategy. You would only disable it if you have a trailing stop loss as the method of taking profit. Now, a few final things that we have in the settings. We have the ability to close the position early if stochastic RSI crosses in the opposite direction. You can close the position early if price crosses a certain moving average of your choice. Close the position after a certain number of minutes. Close position on reaching the end of the trading session as determined by you. And also the ability to enable dollar cost averaging entries. So this is a whole nother section on its own where you can take the entries as a 1 stage, 2 stage, multiple stage, whatever you want to set here, you can have it enter as a dollar cost averaging entry. And then the custom order size settings, this will just change how much it's risking per trade. So based on contracts, cash, percent of equity, or a percent risk of equity, fixed risk. So we have that there. I have it set to risk 2% per trade to get the results that are showing for this one. And down here, just alert section and the customization of the widget and the appearance of it on your chart. But that's pretty much going to finish things up here for this strategy script. Again, you can get access to this and all the other strategy scripts at my Patreon page, which the link in the description down below is how you can access that. So appreciate you guys watching this video. If you're interested, check it out. But if not, have a great day and thank you for watching.